take, I don't know what number this is. My name is Anna Larson, and my virtual field trip is on the Tibetan Plateau. This plateau is located in Tibet and Qinghai provinces in China, and as you can see, it makes up about a third of the country's area. This plateau formed about 55 million years ago, a product of two tectonic plates colliding, which also formed the Himalayan mountain range, but the plateau remained fairly flat since the crust uplifted without crumbling or wrinkling. Due to the large size of the plateau, types of rock found are separated by location. The Actus Tag complex hosts mafic granulites, amphibolites, TTG granitic gneiss, marbles, and carcanites. The Dunhuang block hosts aluminum-rich gneisses, leptites, and biotite quartz schists, marbles, quartzites, garnet, amphibolites. Alton block has garnet plagioclase, amphibolites, biotite, leptonites, gneisses, biotite schists, and marbles, basalts, andesites, dacites. The Quillen block has biotite quartz schist, amphibolite, diopside, marble, dolomite, quartzite, leptonite, interbedded with biotite, amphibolite, gneiss. The Hualong group has a low pressure, high temp metamorphic, has low minerals including andesite and sillimanite. Their protoliths are classic rocks with mafic and carbonate rocks. The Suilan Shan group has monzonite, gneisses, garnet, amphibolites, sillimanite, garnet, biotite, quartz, schist, leptonite, quartz marbles, graphite marbles, and stripped migmatites. The stromatolites and microfossils, conglomerates, which overlies the metamorphic basement rocks. Okay, now the Quanji block has gneiss, quartzite schists, mica schists, amphibolite schists, and some granulites. The lower part has phyllites interlaced with limestones and schists. Central part has dolomites and marbles embedded with sandstones, and the upper part is limestone, marbles, dolomite, marbles sandwiched with sericite quartz and plagioclase, amphibolite schists, and tufaceous sandstones. The Kunlun block has various schists and quartzites, marbles, gneisses, and volcanic layers. In the south section of Burhan Budai Mountain, there are a large amount of metamorphic felsic intrusions which have experienced strong migmatization. Due to the lack of geochronology, paleontology, and other forms of data, many of the geology units found here do not have accurate ages, but they were often labeled Paleo to Mesoproterozoic, Meso to Neoproterozoic, Sinian Cambrian, and other general guesses. The data found is also confused with different opinions on formation age, tectonic characteristic, and other aspects. Okay, let's talk about features. 46% of the world's population depends on the water from rivers originating in Tibet. The Brahmaputra, Indus, Sutlej, Ganges, Yellow River, and Yangtze, besides a number of smaller rivers as well. They also serve as an important electricity source. The crust of the Tibetan Plateau is 2 times the normal thickness, a result of those tectonic plates crashing that we were talking about earlier. Because the granitic rocks of the continents have uranium and potassium, which are heat-producing radioactive elements, that thick crust is unusually hot. On its north side, the crust is being pushed east, creating large strike-slip earthquakes. And monsoon rainfall is really heavy here, mainly due to the elevation. Something interesting also is that because of all this activity happening below the surface, a lot of precious minerals are being pushed to the surface a lot faster than they normally would be, which is pretty interesting. It is also home to the 3rd largest number of glaciers, ice, and snow in the world, and it is sometimes called the 3rd pole due to its vast water resources. And because of global warming, we actually talked about this in class before. Glaciers are melting, and since the crust is super warm because of those elements we were talking about, and because of the elevation, it is melting at, I think it was 3 times the rate than the normal rate, I guess you could say. Okay, and that leads us into relevance. Obviously, by now, you realize that the Tibetan Plateau is important to a lot of the world's fresh water sources. And with the drastic changes due to global warming, this will have a major impact on millions of people. The plateau is also home to the second largest province in China, Tibet, with an entire culture built around this geologic wonder. Tibetans have specific genes that actually allow them to breathe oxygen more efficiently with larger, better functioning lungs. And the Tibetans also believe in powerful deities that live in all water sources, which is why they don't disturb any living beings from the water. The plateau is sacred to them and they will not allow scientists to step on the glaciers, so they have to use photography to measure the glacial recession. In conclusion, the Tibetan Plateau demonstrates such an interesting and confounding relationship between erosion, uplift, and continental collision that it is definitely one geologic feature of great cultural and scientific importance. There's so many important aspects of this area that I implore you to look into it yourselves, and if you have the chance, visit it. And here are my references. And hopefully, this is the last time I have to record this because otherwise, I'm going to cry and I really want to go to bed. And this is already going to be submitted late. Anyways, so thanks for listening and watching this painful presentation.